Hi, my name is Lori Quattro. I'm doing a presentation on deliberate practice. Deliberate practice theory was developed by a professor named K. Anders Ericsson. He developed the idea that expertise develops after years of focused practice in an area of improvement of a particular skill. It had little to do with talent or genetic disposition. Deliberate practice was successful when an active learner was supervised by a teacher or experienced mentor. This experienced mentor watched over repetitive performances, extra time of problem solving, and provided feedback that was important for the student learner to self-evaluate and improve the skill or the focused practice in the area they were trying to improve. In the article, The Role of Deliberate Practice in Acquisition of Clinical Skills, the study evaluated undergrad students as they moved along clinical education. They wanted to evaluate the psychomotor skills, and they used principles of Ericsson's theory. And 4 design principles they evaluated were 1. Repetitive performance of intended cognitive or psychomotor skills, 2. Rigorous skills assessment, 3. Specific informative feedback, and 4. Better skills performance. In the study, as they evaluated the physical exam skills, they wanted to hypothesize 2 key points. 1. Training activity grounded in deliberate practice can be effective in undergraduate clinical training. 2. Students will exhibit more aspects of deliberate practice due to the effective learning habits that were acquired as they progressed through the curriculum. They wanted to evaluate these 2 key points in hopes that they would positively affect the students' performance in clinical skills. After they evaluated the hypothesis, they developed 3 questions that they wanted to answer. 1. Which aspects of deliberate practice can be identified in the behavior of medical students when practicing clinical skills? 2. What development can be seen in the use of deliberate practice across different years of study? And 3. To what extent does deliberate practice have predictive value for results on the objective structured clinical exam? In order to answer these questions, they conducted a quantitative cross-sectional retrospective study. After they completed the study, they utilized a questionnaire that involved 34 questions, and they used the Likert scale rating 1 to 5. They evaluated 4 factors of the questionnaire: 1. Planning, 2. Concentration and dedication, 3. Repetition and revision, and 4. The study style and self-reflection. Conclusion revealed that the trend of increasing use of deliberate practice as students progressed through their curriculum. It showed that they acquired the ability to structure their study and the practice of their activities. They found more efficient use of time, energy, and resources. It was found that not the amount of time nor the repetition of practice, but it was more the targeted aspects of performance of improvement with the purpose and goal. Another study that elaborated on deliberate practice was in the article of Impact of Deliberate Practice on Evidence-Based Medicine Attitudes, Behaviors of Healthcare Professionals. This study wanted to examine the effects of evidence-based medicine through a standalone workshop or in other various forms of deliberate evidence-based medicine in pediatric healthcare professionals. They hypothesized initially that healthcare professionals exposed to deliberate evidence-based medicine practice would have more positive attitude towards evidence-based medicine and were more likely to show evidence-based medicine behaviors than healthcare professionals who only followed a single evidence-based medicine workshop in their medical education career. The second aim was to explore effects of the exposure to deliberate evidence-based medicine and if it would exist after they stopped this exposure. What they found was that the deliberate evidence-based medicine group that practiced daily practiced clinically and became more efficient at using evidence-based medicine within their own practice than those who attended their workshops. It was found, though, after both groups stopped the exposure of evidence-based medicine, both groups fell off from practicing evidence-based medicine in their clinical practice, approximately about 15 months after the program stopped. So what this evidence has acquired us to believe is that basically practice makes perfect. The more practice and deliberate focus that you have on objectives and goals, you'll become more successful in practice of whatever skill or mindset that you're setting. It's important to discuss here 2 key points about making deliberate practice successful. 1, feedback is extremely important from mentors and experts, and that the student needs to be active in their own learning process. They need to be able to identify their weaknesses or gaps in knowledge to become successful in this type of practice and theory. These are my references. Thank you for taking the time to listen, and have a good evening.